Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here at a slightly different angle. Yes, we're back at the desk because what we're looking at really does need to be seen up close. Now, have you ever wanted to use one of these or one of these with one of these? If the answer's no, you're on the wrong video. Yeah, basically, there is actually a method you can use to take one of your original SNES controllers or NES controllers, and in fact, you can also do this with a Mega Drive controller, although I can't. I'll explain why in a minute. And just use them as a retro controller. Obviously, very limited with the buttons, but you can, if you want to. You're playing a retro game, why not, eh? Why not indeed? You do this. This isn't something that you can. It isn't just like one trick and you just like, you know, solder something on. It's a lot easier than that, but you do have to buy something, which shouldn't come as any surprise because it also makes it wireless. And there's no wireless capabilities in these whatsoever. But it's a nice little thing. So the basic idea is that you can buy these things that are basically boxes. No, they're basically little, essentially just PCB mods. And let's have a look at one of them here. So these are from 8Bitdo, by the way, who just sent these to me. They just sent them, and I mentioned it to my colleague, and he's like, oh yeah, they said they were turning up. I had no idea. I just had a random parcel arrive from China. Anyway, so let's have a look in this. Which one is this? I don't know, but I've got two, unsurprisingly. Let's crack this one open. I think maybe this is the NES one, maybe? Or is it? No, this is a SNES one. So basically, as you can see in here, it is just, it's just a PCB. It's a replacement PCB. And so it's really easy to install, and so I'm going to show you that in the video. Also comes with, obviously, you know, like a charging cable because it's got an interesting way to charge, but it just charges via USB on one end, but the other end, well, it's very cleverly done. We'll see in a minute. And it also comes with a screwdriver, which is a really nice touch. I'm not going to be using it because I've got my own, and it's just bigger and more comfortable. These are quite small, perfectly suitable for the job. In fact, I've used this already because there's a couple of others that I've posted up on Twitter. But yeah, I'm going to use my one because, you know. So let's start with the SNES one. So the first thing you're going to need to do is quite easy. Oh look, this one says F because it's faulty. Yes, these controllers are both, well, I say they're both faulty. This one actually works fine, but yeah, I did ask for faulty ones, but he didn't have any. Basically, these have been donated from a local retro games shop, Retro Games HQ in Swindon, by Pete. So thank you very much, Pete, for letting me use these. And he's going to get them back as a gift, fully modded, because I don't have a use for all of these controllers. So just as a thank you for providing the things necessary for this video. So basically, you just go in, and it's just a matter of... is there even a screw in there? Okay, this is a faulty one, and it is missing two screws there, but it will still work. But I maybe should have checked that before. So you just need to undo the screws as per usual. Thankfully, these old ones just they just use crosshead. They don't use the tri-wing, which is really handy because although they do provide a screwdriver, so if it was tri-wing, I imagine 8Bitdo would provide a tri-wing screwdriver if that's what you needed, but as it happens, you don't. And so you basically just lift the back panel off here. You might as well just leave it like that. Lift the back panel off, easy peasy. Now, as you can see, you've got all the internal gubbins. Do want to point, this is an original SNES controller, as you can probably tell. It's an official one as well. It's not some sort of modern knockoff, as you can tell from the very old-looking PCB. And you just need to lift this out as carefully as you can and as on camera as you can. If you're doing it on camera, you know I'm going to take the cable out first. There we go. There we go. Much easier to do it that way. And so there you are. There's the old PCB. And so we just need to pop this to one side. They do recommend in the instructions popping it back in the anti-static bag here, but this one's faulty anyway, so it doesn't matter. And as far as I know, if it's faulty, chances are I really should have tested this before doing the video, but this should still work because it just it completely replaces the PCB, and I imagine it's the PCB that's gone. As you can see, there's a battery here, and there's the shoulder button gubbins here, and you literally just pop this on like that. If I can get it in place, there we go. That's in place. Yep, it's just the buttons pushing it back down. You need to slip these in here. No, they don't. They go in here. Yeah, that makes more sense. I was expecting a little slot, but That'll become clear why in a minute. But yep, that seems to work fine. Okay, and now we have this little bit here, and this is where the magic happens. This is essentially a charging port and an LED indicator, which is very handy indeed. And so, if it stops popping out, get in there. Let's hope that just sticks in there for a brief moment. And it's just a matter now of popping this back on. This would be so much easier if I wasn't looking through a viewfinder. And get that on over there. Okay. Come. Oh, I've just spotted what the problem is. It's these wires are getting in the way. I do apologize to anyone watching the video screaming at me saying, Alex, the wires are in the way, because they're supposed to be bowed in like that. Just like that. And now that should be infinitely so much easier. All right, let's just slip that in there so that it's in the right position, and there we are. Now we just need to close it up with the screws from before. So, you know what? No, I think I will put them in the same place as they were, because we've only got 3. But here. Do you really need to see this bit? Right. Okay. It's now complete. I put the screws back in and everything. Honestly, it was not that difficult last time. It was just me being a Burke, because I have done this before, as you can see here. Woo! Well, that's slightly different. Anyway, so yeah, that is now done, and so it's, I suppose now it's just a matter of making sure. Yep, you can see that lighting up. That's the indicator LED. So let's bring the switch over, turn it on, and get this synced up, because obviously this hasn't been done before. So let's go through. I was playing some lovely Hollow Knight, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. Change grip order. Now, I do believe it does say in the instructions, let me just turn this off. There we go. You hold Y and start to put it into switch mode, and then you hold select for a little bit. And it should go into pairing mode. And then we just wait for it to come through. Is that coming through? Come on. Come on. Come on. It says it's connected. There we go, it's worth that time. Pairing controllers, it is so much easier to pair via USB, but you can't do it with this situation because that is just power only, and I haven't put it in very straight, but for this, the purposes of this. So as you can see now, I can just go through and navigate. In fact, I'll turn the brightness down a little bit on here just so you can see that a little bit better. That's easier. And yeah. Oh no, the D-pad doesn't work. Maybe that's why this is broken. Okay, I'm going to open this back up and see if I can fix that part of it. Bear with me. Let's find out what's wrong with this controller with Alex Olney. Right, so let's just pop this over. Come on. Out you come. There we go. Well, I have just seen what the problem is. This controller's probably absolutely fine. Someone's just put this on the wrong way around. So there's no wonder it wasn't making any sodding contact. I could clean it up, but I suppose just for the sake of the video and brevity, let's just pop this back together. Well, at least it's a nice and easy fix. Oh dear, this is why you open things up when they don't work and just have a very brief look, because it turns out the problem could be as simple as someone's, you know, sort of assembled it incorrectly, and I've potentially been out of center of shot for a long time because I'm no longer looking at the screen. Sorry, I just can't believe it was so simple. Someone just put it the wrong way round. Oh, I do hope that wasn't Pete, who owns the retro game shop where I got this from. Because if so, sorry, Pete. That was a silly thing to do. Anyway, let's pop this thing back together and well, we just jump cut, see whether it works. Let's get this working properly. Well, at least see whether it now works. I imagine it would do. It's it's a little bit spongy, the D-pad, but that happens a bit. I'm not turning it on properly. There we go. Turn it on with start, and it syncs up, and it's wasn't quick enough. So come on you go. Quickly turn that on. Sync up. There we go! Buttons are definitely working, and the D-pad is now working. Oh, so it probably wasn't faulty, but now it absolutely works with the Switch. Could try and play a little bit of Hollow Knight, but it probably wouldn't go very well because you don't have all the controls. No, I can open the map, but I don't have a map for this area. But yeah, so it works lovely. You know, it's I think if you Oh, I don't know. I haven't played around with these enough, but I do think there is a way you can get to the home menu and stuff. Yes, it's down and select. It's the same with a lot of 8BitDo stuff. And yeah, to charge it, you just have where's the cable gone? Where's the cable gone? Here we go. To charge it, you literally have these USB cables, USB on one side, and teeny tiny little barrel plug on the end, and you just plug it in there, and that'll charge it when you plug it into a USB power supply. Yeah, and it just works like that. It's a really nice thing. And obviously this is a bit of an old knackered Super Nintendo controller. See, I'm adhering to everyone's standards for saying SNES. But if you wanted to go one step further, you could use the slightly more modern alternative, and it is a different mod kit for the SNES Mini, or the Super Nintendo Classic. Whatever. This one, basically, different serial numbers and stuff. This one doesn't say F on the back as well, and it's a lot more matte. Yeah, and this works in exactly the same way. This one's already been set up. It might be out of power because I was using it for a bit, and then I think I left it on. Oh no, it's connected. Oh, it's just the blue's a little bit less obvious than on this one, I think, because this one sits in just a little bit better. But as you can see there, this one works an absolute charm, and it's I think it's a little bit better than the original. The D-pad is just a little bit more responsive. But yeah, it works, and there's no latency. It's a nice little thing, and you can do it with the NES controller as well. This is from oh god, I unconnected it. This is essentially from the SNES, the NES Mini, but it is and it isn't. This is actually a not working dummy unit. I don't know whether you can see that. It's from the dummy unit I got for the original video that I did. So that wasn't a real thing. It was just an empty shell, and that's what this was. If anybody's interested in seeing what the PCB for this dummy controller was, there'll be a thing on at the end because I think this video is already a little bit too long. But even so, I think we're going to have one last look and do the oh Christ, why don't we do the NES controller as well, or the Nintendo Entertainment System controller? This one was working, and I imagine the other one probably was as well. So I'll tell you what, let's just jump cut to when this is open, because this really is the boring bit, even when I get the screws out properly. Oh dear, bit of a shame with this one. The pole, this screw has become stuck. It's just sheared this bit off, which is a shame, but it'll still work absolutely fine. It's a bit of a shame. But as you can see, yes, this is an original NES controller. Again, not a modern sort of remake or anything like that. And you can tell from all the grime and stuff that's in here. And once again, we just there's the old PCB. We'll need that. We just take this off and put it on the floor. That is optional. Just slip this in there. Marvelous. And we get the new PCB, which is in here. Let me just slide this open. Chuck the box to one side so it's almost out of shot. Again, yeah, they all come with a charging cable, as you would hope, and a screwdriver, which is a nice bonus. Go put that over there, and this is a much smaller and easier one to do, because it's just a much simpler controller and there's no annoying shoulder buttons. Again, battery on there, it reckons it's 180 milliamp hour, which for a controller like this should be plenty. Now, I do remember, though, that this is a little bit fiddlier on this one because the cable goes at a different angle. So that just slips in there. And yeah, it wants to sort of... it's a bit long for it, so maybe if I double back on it, no, it has to go in that way, like that. So that goes in there. And it just wants to bounce out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this off my arm, and I'm going to try and line this up so that it can just sort of sandwich together like that. Get that there. And that is a very easy way to do it. Marvellous. And now it's just a case of putting the screws back in, except for in the one where the post is broken. But apart from that, marvellous. I think I smell a jump cut. Right, that is all back together now, and it's still a little bit grubby, but you know what, it's fine, and the switch is still on. So let's sync up this one, shall we? The others are all going to still be connected. They come up as Pro controllers, but that's obviously a non-issue, so hold that. That turns it, in fact, no. Oh God, what is it? I think it's like, I'm going to have to reference the instructions, which thankfully are only here. Connecting it, because obviously it's not Y. Switch, press start and left. Start and left. So, is that going to work? Let's just turn it off, because it was already on. And, there we go. Start and left. And then hold select. And there we go, it's trying to sync. And it's synced! That one was a lot more straightforward. And there we go. We just have a NES controller working. This is an original NES controller. It's actually really in quite good nick, actually. And it's just working with the Switch. I'm pretty sure, although I will just double check very briefly and put it up in text. I don't think it works wired. I think this only delivers power. Pretty certain of that, but I will check to see whether they work wired. Again, don't think they do. That's kind of not the point of them. And yeah, you know, have I saved? You know, I'm going to quickly save in Hollow Knight. I'm pretty sure I have recently. And why don't we have a quick look at gameplay? There we go. So I'm guessing down and select. Yep, that takes us back to the home, so they've thought of that as well. And let's have a look at Sonic Mania. That should work fine with this, shouldn't it? It's a really good go-to game for, you know, anything that doesn't require a lot of controls. Not going to faff around too long, but, you know, I'm just going to show you. In fact, I could show you all 4 of them working individually, because why not? Press start just to go through. And let's whack up the sound, shall we? There we go. Marvellous. So let's just jump into Mania mode, why not? Let's just go to Sonic. Green Hill Zone, why not? And this is quite a surreal thing. You know, it's a... this is an original NES controller, modded to work wirelessly with a Nintendo Switch to play the latest 16-bit 2D Sonic game. There's something a little bit marvellous about the Switch and this whole situation. Isn't this just surreal? Get that sucker. So yeah, as you can see, do you want to see all the controllers? All right, but briefly. I'm dying. Right, so here's the dummy one. It's got the sticker on the back. That's how you know this is the NES Mini one, essentially. That's working in pretty much the same way. Slightly more responsive because it's a more modern controller. But the controls are obviously exactly the same. It's just a slightly different looking PCB, I think. Slightly different shape or something. I don't know. Here is the original SNES controller, modded. D-pad's a little bit mushy, but I think some people really do like that for some reason. Not me. I prefer the slightly more up-to-date one. So that one works as well. I was about to say, let's go into a special stage, but we can't because I've got Supersonic, haven't I? And here we go. This is weirdly appropriate because I think this is the best, and I'm playing as Supersonic because why not? And yeah, this is the SNES Mini one. This is a real SNES Mini controller, not a dummy unit or anything like that. This is the real deal that I just had because I have a SNES Mini, but I don't have a NES Mini except for the weird empty one. And there you have it. Marvelous little things, aren't they? Here's all of them because why not? Slap, slabbity, dabbity, doo. Wow. And there you have it. So that is essentially, you know, that's how you can mod your original system, or indeed the NES, you know, the mini versions, the classic editions, so that they will work with your Nintendo Switch and wirelessly. Now, of course, there are, in fact, you know, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab it quickly. So 8BitDo do their own versions, and as you can see, it says 8BitDo gamepad up there rather than Super Nintendo like that. Or is it different in America? I don't know. But obviously this is the American-styled one because it's got the Parma Violet buttons. And yeah, so they do their own version of these, and they have done for a very long time. And they do work with the Switch as well. But if you just fancy a little project, and you just want to make something, you know, make it a little bit more fun, you know, breathe some new life into one of your old controllers, or if you've got a broken one that for some reason, where it's actually broken and it's just the contact rubber isn't the other way around, you can just do this. And I think it's really cool. I think it is really, really cool. And it's so easy. There's no soldering or anything like that. It's literally open up. Well, it's not really plug and play. It's open up, slap in, and play. Not as catchy, but more accurate. And as for the old PCBs, well, you can hang on to them. And if you want to then use, say, your original SNES controller with the SNES again, just put it back in. You know, there's nothing stopping you. This is totally reversible, which is brilliant. You know, there's no hard wiring or anything like that, or anything that really ruins the controller. So if you want to, you can just go back. You can swap between them every day if you like. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it if you want. And yeah, I think that's to be praised. I really like this system. I don't have a use for all of these controllers, which is why, as I say, I'm going to be taking these two back to Pete at Retro Games HQ in Swindon. So do pop in at the back of Holmes Music if you are in the Swindon area, because it is really ruddy good. I'm going to give these as a little gift back to him so that he can make use of them. And yeah, I do think this is the real genius part, because you do sort of think, oh, how are you going to charge it and stuff like that. and it's a LED indicator as well. It really is very ruddy clever. If you want to pick up one of these for yourself, then there'll be links in the description, potentially affiliate links. I don't know yet, so but there will be a disclaimer if they are, because obviously we like to be transparent with this kind of thing. After I accidentally put an affiliate link in the description and didn't realize it. That was embarrassing, but no, it's fine, and yeah. So check them out and pick one up for yourself. I think they are really, really ruddy nice, to be honest. And yeah, thank you again so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you strip out that subscribe button and replace it with something new and with Bluetooth? Oh, incidentally, all of these will work with other systems as well. Like, in fact, let me get a proper list here. They will work with Android, Windows, Mac OS, and 8Bitdo retro receivers. So you can use these if you've got a retro receiver on your SNES and NES Mini and stuff like that, and even on your original system. So you can actually go proper wireless with your original SNES controller from back in the day, which is marvelous. But anyway, I'm going to continue. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you strip out that subscribe button and replace it with something modern and with Bluetooth. It feels weird to repeat it, but I did it anyway. And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. This is just a bonus thing for the total nerds in the audience. This is the SNES, sorry, not the SNES, the NES, oh, this is the wrong one. This is from the NES Mini dummy system, this PCB. So this is from the controller. So now, as you can see, it's pretty much just the PCB, but with none of the gubbins on it. It's quite an odd thing to look at, but quite pleasing at the same time. Let's get a good look at that. So yeah, as you can see, it's like it's all printed there, but it's not been properly done. There's no, you know, controller chip or anything like that. It's just a blank PCB. And it's quite interesting. It's also currently upside down. It really should be that way. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. This is it if you compare it to an original one. Obviously this isn't the, this is the original, not the NES Mini one, so it's not the best comparison. But even so, you know, there's the microcontroller, or whatever it's called. I don't really know. And yeah, just an interesting little piece of interest.